What's up, viewers of YouTube, crypto enthusiasts, and Chico Army? My name is Tyler of ChicoCrypto.com, and welcome to another episode of the original Crypto and a Cold One. Today I am featuring Lagunitas Little Something Ale. It was recommended by one of my viewers, so let's give it a try out. I love a little something, little something Neo, little something gas, you know what I'm talking about. The video today and the content included has been on my mind for quite some time. As most of you know, Neo is my #1 crypto pick and has been since it was ant shares. A couple of days ago, I talked about Neo Smart Contracts 2.0 and compared it with Ethereum's Turing Complete Smart Contracts and Bitcoin's non-Turing Complete Smart Contracts. Well, in the Neo ecosystem, there's this thing called gas. From the Neo white paper, gas is a fuel token for the realization of Neo network resource control. What does resource control mean though? Well, the Neo network charges for the operation and storage of tokens and smart contracts, thereby creating economic incentives for bookkeepers and preventing the abuse of resources. Currently, there are no transaction fees on the Neo network. This is to support use and development of the platform. Now, smart contracts must have fees, or there could be abuse of the system resources and bring the system to a grinding halt. Here is a breakdown of the fees for system calls. We all knew that it costs 500 gas to create a contract, but it also costs gas to get a block, 0.2 gas for that. Get validators cost 0.1 gas. Get asset, 0.1 gas. There is also fees for system instructions, which can be seen in this chart. Looks like you pay 0.1 gas for checking a signature and 0.01 gas for an app call. The initial 10 gas during each execution of every smart contract is always free. This includes smart contract deploying and invoking. So basically, if your fees from system calls and instruction is 10 gas or less, you won't be charged a service fee. An ICO contract costs 500 gas, but where does that gas go? From the white paper, all smart contract fees are considered as a service fee to be put in a pool for redistribution to Neo holders. So we now know that gas is a fuel token that helps power the Neo network and hinder resource abuse. But for new Neo fans out there, how in the hell do you get gas? Neo has two native tokens, Neo and NEOgas. Neo, with a total of 100 million tokens, represents the rights to manage the network. In the Genesis block of the Neo network, 100 million Neos were generated, and gas has not yet been generated. 100 million gas corresponding to the 100 million Neo will be generated through a decay algorithm in about 22 years' time. So, gas is generated with each new block. Each block takes about 15 to 20 seconds. Each year, around 2 million blocks will be generated, and the initial generation will be 8 gas per block, distributed based on a person's Neo holdings. There will be an annual reduction of 1 gas per block per year. The reduction will continue down to just 1 gas per block and will be held at that rate until around 22 years' time. After the 44th millionth block, the total gas generated will have reached 100 million, and from after this point, no further gas from new blocks will occur. With this release curve, we can project that 16 million gas will be generated after the first year of the Genesis block. In the second year, there will be 14 million gas created. Third year, 12 million. Fourth year, 10 million. This means that after the 4th year, 52% of all gas will be generated, and 80% of the gas will be created in the first 12 years. The remaining 20% will be created in the remaining 10 years. After 22 years, or when the 44th millionth block is generated, the total amount of gas will cease by block generation. But that doesn't mean Neo holders still won't be receiving gas. Remember, you also get gas from a pool which is filled from service fees. These service fees are equally distributed to Neo holders. The Neo Council and even Da Hongfei himself have said that they could see the block time reduced to 5 seconds. Of course, a quicker block time would mean the gas would be generated faster. The scarcity and fee distribution to token holders is one of the top reasons I believe gas is severely undervalued. The ability to collect extra service charges with NEO is going to be worth a boatload more than people even realize. Already we are seeing the ecosystem grow, and as these projects begin initiating contracts, especially complex ones, they will have to pay service fees. You need to understand how much volume will be on this platform and how much that is going to return holders in gas. Even the white paper says contracts are digital assets. Now, some people argue that gas won't become that scarce and used because ICOs can just accept NEO or even Bitcoin for their ICO. I beg to differ. Bitcoin in its current form is not the best vehicle for participating in ICOs because of the network fees. Yes, eventually this will get fixed, but NEO will be continuing to take market share in this time, and market participants will realize NEO's benefits as more time goes on. Now, these benefits include, number 1, NEO of course produces gas. Number 2 is voting rights. Number 3 is a quick block time with 15 to 20 seconds right now and 5 seconds possible in the future. Number 4 is high transactions per second. Currently, NEO can handle 1,000 transactions, but by 2020, the network will be able to handle 100,000 transactions per second on-chain. And number 5, it's non-forkable, which will lead to small, medium, and large-size enterprises using NEO for blockchain solutions. Now, why wouldn't ICOs just use NEO? Well, as we know, NEO is rights to manage the network, and NEO is not divisible like gas. Eventually, the price of NEO will be $1,000 plus. Most small investors will not be willing to invest a minimum of 1K and more in the further future. This alienates a potential group, so in my personal opinion, of course ICOs will accept NEO, but the majority of contributors will come from in the form of gas. So if you didn't know, the gas fees associated with smart contracts will change in the future. Yes, NEO holders will have voting rights in the future, including network parameter changes. NEO is essentially giving power back to the people who participate in the network. How will us holders react to the changing markets? Will we lower the entry for ICO smart contracts? It may even be possible that we raise them. This is up to us to decide, and that is the beauty of the NEO smart economy. Hongfei himself explained smart contract fees in my interview with him at NEO DevCon. Never mind me talking about it, check it out right now. Hey, what's up viewers? I'm here with the man who needs no introduction, the man, the myth, the legend, Uncle Da himself, Hongfei. He is one of the founders of the NEO platform. And so for our viewers out there, the ones that don't know what NEO is, could you just give a brief breakdown of what NEO is?
Wow, NEO is a great product. It's a great network. It's a blockchain for the future. It's a blockchain for the future smart economy. Yeah.
So NEO, currently right now to issue a smart contract on NEO, it costs about 500 gas.
Yes.
Is there anything going to happen regarding the fees of that? Are they going to go down to allow people who don't have the money to do that to build on top of NEO?
Yeah, 500 gas is quite expensive, but the economic model with NEO is different from other blockchains. We are more like the internet. So the business is paying for all the fees, and the consumers are basically using it for free. Currently, it's $2,500 or $25,000 to deploy a smart contract. But in the future, the NEO holders have the voting power to decide what price should be charged. Yeah.
For those smart contracts.
Yes, it's flexible, it's changeable.
So that voting functionality, when will that be implemented? Is there a deciding date on that?
We don't have a fixed date to when we can be able to do that. I imagine maybe in 6 months or to 1 year we can do that.
All right. So let's talk about NEO's DBFT. The consensus behind NEO. It took you and Eric, I read, almost 2 years to develop. Could you expand on how that happened?
Yeah, it took us about 10 months.
10 months?
To conceptualize all the NEO, all the architecture, from 2014 to 2015. We decided to choose DBFT because it's fast. The latency is very low. You need 15 seconds to 20 seconds to have one confirmation. It's much faster than other consensus mechanism. And second, it has perfect finality. That means you only need to wait for one confirmation to perfectly confirm that the transaction is already gone through. So you don't need to wait for 6 confirmations or 21 confirmations. And also it's a delegated Byzantine fault tolerant consensus. That means you have to vote for someone, then you have to know them. So the consensus nodes, they are identifiable. So it is more compliant ready, and it's more usable, suitable for financial and mission critical transactions.
Like enterprise solutions.
Yes.
Businesses can't have something that's going to take 6 confirmations, take hours. They need a confirmation then and there.
Yes, and it is not possible to have a network split with a fork, with DBFT, because there are many meanings of fork. The protocol can fork, and you can fork a project on GitHub. So I use network split.
Network split.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how you first got into cryptocurrency, because I'm always interested finding out some of these founders, how they first got into crypto. So explain to our viewers how you first got into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency.
I came across Bitcoin in 2011, and I can't remember exactly where I read the article. It must be some technical blog. And then I spent a lot of time researching on it, because I was very interested in computer science, interested in economics, and I even borrowed cryptography books when I was in college, and I'm having a Bachelor of Arts degree. I'm not an engineering student, but I taught myself assembly language and C. The only purpose is to crack the computer in my university's lab, so I can use it as my personal computer.
Nice. Hey,
it's not right, but
you got to do it.
It helped me to learn the lower level architecture of computers.
So that's pretty cool. You learning as a need. You basically learned computer science. And that brought you into cryptocurrency.
Into crypto, and then in 2013. A project came out. It's called Ripple, and it's using a slightly different technology than Bitcoin and doing slightly different things. Bitcoin is about money, is about how to create money and how to distribute money. But Ripple is about exchange, it's about payment. So I'm seeing the technology behind those two projects. But they are doing different directions. So I decided with my teams to do something else.
That's awesome. So let's talk about some of the components of the NEO smart economy, like the NEO virtual machine. Could you explain how interop services will work within the NEO virtual machine and how it will plug into other blockchains?
Because NEO virtual machine is very different from other VMs like Ethereum VMs. There's only 2 components with NEO VM. It's a stack-based virtual machine. There is one CPU. There is one stack. There's no persistent memory or hard disk with NEO virtual machine. So you need to, if you want to store something, you need to request for a persistent storage. And if you want to get other informations like system time, you need to request for system time. And you can even use the interop APIs to visit a website. You can even, in the future, you can even ask for a price of certain stocks or maybe ask for the weather of today or yesterday, or something happened in the history. So interop service can provide all those kind of services.
Wow, that's amazing. So now let's talk about NEOID. So I've heard that NEOID, you're able to prioritize smart contracts. Will NEOID be its own project, or will you be working with similar ID projects such as the key?
It will be a feature or a module with Neo. It won't be an independent project. Currently, we don't. There is zero transaction fee in Neo. So if in the future we have to prioritize things, if some transactions is from a address that are linked to a Neo ID, a real person or real organization, they will be processed in the at first.
Wow, that's amazing, because I mean that's going to help enterprise solutions such as businesses come to the Neo blockchain.
I believe so.
Oh, I believe so too. So let's talk about Neo's future. What do you see as the most exciting thing for the next 6 months, year?
Next 6 months, year.
3 years.
Per year, yeah. I think we're still in the early days of blockchain technology, so it is still very technology intensive, and we are lack of a lot of fundamental or infrastructural protocols. So I'm looking forward for decentralized exchanges. I'm looking forward to distributed storage and stable coins, and those fundamental protocols is what we are looking for. In the next 1 year or 3 years.
So I'm sure you're pretty excited about Next then.
Sure.
Next seems like a very great project, decentralized exchange. So let's talk about consensus nodes. How are those going to roll out in the future?
Currently there are 7 consensus nodes in the mainnet. Currently it's all controlled by the new console, but we are in the process of decentralizing all the nodes to related parties, and there are already some organizations, they're willing to running consensus nodes, but ultimately they have to be voted in. So all the Neo holders, you should vote for those organizations. Do you trust them to run consensus nodes? And we have to be very careful with decentralization of all the consensus nodes, because the protocol of Neo is evolving very fast. We need to those consensus nodes act very quickly to upgrade. And if there is a bug, there is a security issue, we need them to respond very quickly. So we're doing the decentralization process slowly, gradually, and very carefully. I imagine in next maybe 2 years, all the consensus nodes will be fully decentralized.
So that leads me into my next question regarding, during your presentation yesterday, you said that you hope Neo will be the #1 blockchain by 2020. And guess what? That's happening, guys. So regarding that, you said that by 2020, you'll be able to handle 100,000 transactions per second.
Without sharding.
That's on chain, correct?
Yes.
That's amazing. So will the distribution of the consensus nodes help with that?
It doesn't really help that. Actually, if you decentralize everything, things will get a little bit slower.
Really?
If you centralize things get faster. So we have been calculating, we have been testing the possibilities. What is the limit of transaction per second for a single shard? And we concluded that we can reach that number in 2 or 3 years.
In 2 or 3 years. Wow. Well, how many consensus nodes do you think will be out there in about 2 to 3 years?
I think between 10 to 20.
10 to 20?
10 to 20,
Do you think the Neo holders will be voting on those during that time?
We're thinking about changing some mechanism to encourage, to incentivize those Neo holders to vote. So they're the stakeholders. They should do something for the good of the blockchain.
Good of the project, exactly. So let's talk about some regulations and everything. So Neo has done an excellent job of getting their Western marketing very well. I mean, the West loves NEO.
Yeah.
I've heard some rumors regarding China possibly releasing regulations for ICOs. Do you know anything about that?
No, I've never heard of it.
You haven't heard of that?
I never heard of it. Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that they do release some regulations because I mean that will only help.
I hope so. Yeah, but I have no information about this. Yeah. And I don't believe we will see a lift of the ICO ban in near future.
In the near future.
Yeah.
All right. Well, NEO has actually, when I first invested, I got in Ant shares at $1.42.
It's very early days.
Yeah, early days. And it shot all the way up. I think we're sitting at about $140 right now.
Yeah, around
so
that.
that's amazing. Talk to me about that. Like the price increase. How has that felt?
Yeah, my team always tells me, do not talk about price.
Yeah, of course. Don't talk about price.
Yeah, so I say it's a very exciting experience.
Yeah, let's take away from price. Let's talk about popularity. Like the popularity of NEO. How exciting is that for everyone?
My co-founder, Eric John, he is very confident with NEO, and he always thinks that NEO should be one of the top projects at very beginning of when we started. So it's not a surprise what we. I mean, our ranking at all the public blockchains. Yeah, but what surprised me is the craziness in this industry in the last year.
Yeah, I mean, literally a couple months in this industry can feel like a year. It moves really fast. Very fast.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some just crypto economics regarding NEO. NEO and gas are very closely related.
Yes.
Do you see gas out like pricing NEO in the future, or what is your thoughts on that?
Oh, I don't really know. It's demand.
It's supply and demand.
Yes, supply and demand. Yeah. Currently, it's like half the price of NEO.
That's usually what it sits at. Gas does.
I think as long as the price of gas is stable, I'm happy. Gas is ought to be the utility token. A utility token, they better be stable. Yeah.
Yes.
Otherwise, we need some other stable coin solutions to have a stable currency. Inside the system.
No, gas is it's probably one of the most brilliant concepts I've ever came across in the blockchain. Is by holding NEO, you produce gas, which is the utility. And gas is divisible up to the millionth, correct?
Yes, it's has the same amount as NEO ultimately, but I have to correct you that you are not earning gas. It's actually the gas is sticked with NEO. So one NEO is sticked with one gas. And then the gas gets released gradually in about 22 years. Yes.
Now let's take a look at some historic NEOgas prices when compared with NEO's price. As you can see, before NEO's big run up to around $50 USD, NEO's price was $7.29 and gas's price was $3.29. This means NEO was trading at 3.1 times gas's price. Once NEO reached 50 USD, gas was trading at around $32.45. Gas had shrunk the NEO to gas ratio to 1.6. Right before the insane run up to $184.53, gas was trading at about 2 to 1 on 12/8/2017. When NEO had reached that $180 level, gas was trading at $85.68, leaving a ratio of 3.1. As of when this video was shot on 2/6/2018, NEO was trading at about $104 USD. And gas is trading at about $38.12. This means NEO is nearly trading at 3 to 1. The last time we saw this was when NEO was less than $8. If this holds for when this video drops, gas is a solid buy. Historically, gas has traded with NEO at 2 to 1. So once that 3 to 1 ratio comes, buy. So I am dedicated to NEO. Their economic model is brilliant. Gas is just one of the reasons I love NEO. But in future videos, you're going to keep learning why this is the best crypto to be in. Hopefully I've gained some new recruits to the Chico army after this video. If you would like to officially enlist, join my Telegram group, t.me/ChicoCrypto. I'm out for today. Cheers, and as always, I'll see you guys tomorrow.